Alright dudes, welcome back. Today I want to talk about packaging, knife packaging. What's the box that you get your knife in? Does it matter if it's a nice box, nice packaging, with some cool graphics, or maybe just a nice quality box, a tin, a tube? Doesn't matter, I don't know. I don't think it really matters, but I will say I do appreciate a really nice presentation when I get a knife. So I kind of just want to show off a very wide variety of different packaging on different knives that I own. So let's just go through some interesting ones. Subscribe to the channel, please. This is the packaging that my TRM Shadow came in, and I thought this was pretty cool. It's like a plastic thing. It's recycled from, or not, I don't know about recycled, but it's from sugarcane. It's made from sugarcane somehow. So it says Shadow right there, and then you just pull the bottom. I think. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's pretty hard to pull out. How the heck do you do this? Oh, you probably squeeze the corners? Maybe? Or maybe you... What? I don't know, man. Somehow you get in there. Somehow this pulls out and you get in there, okay? So that's kind of cool. Now, traditional pocket knives always has really cool packaging. If it's an exclusive or one of his original designs, he always goes above and beyond on the graphics. This is the nip slip, so it was a collab, or it was an exclusive from Devo Knives. And you can see on the back here he had, the TPK with Devo. And, even the sides look cool. Devo Knives exclusives. See Reisner cutlery. And then on the back it had all the info. On the end, I mean. And then when you open this, I said when you open this, it's the regular, wait, no, it's not the regular. It has that again on the front. And then you pull it out, it's kind of like a drawer kind of thing. With the shape of the knife cut out of some foam. And it's in a little plastic baggie. So that's some pretty nice packaging, I would say. What else we got? How about ABW? This is the tin that my ABW slip joint came in, and I thought this was pretty cool packaging. It's basically like an Altoids tin. Open it up, there's the knife in a foam insert, and that's it. I don't think there's anything... Is there anything underneath there? Oh, there's two layers. Nope, nothing under there. I just thought that was kind of cool. Kind of a cool way to present the knife. You could definitely know it's not going to be damaged, in transit. Even if the cardboard box around it gets crushed, this is very secure, very sturdy. Pretty cool. I like that. It's kind of lasered. The logo's lasered on the top there. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. ProTech. ProTech has some pretty cool boxes, man. Kind of long, skinny. You have this little sleeve right here that kind of slides. You slide this either, above or behind the crack there. And there's a magnet holding this lid down. Swing that open. You have some info right there. And then you have this nice pouch that the knife comes in. Actually, it comes in this plastic, and then I think the pouch is underneath the knife usually. So it doesn't actually come in this pouch, interestingly. But it's there if you want it. So that's kind of cool. It reminded me of like a coffin. It reminds me of like a coffin. I don't know why. So this slip just prevents it from opening. Pretty cool. I like that. Pretty smart. Pretty smart box. How about some GECs? Now GECs come in tubes. So traditionally how slip joints would come in. And you have the info on the top there. That's the serial number. And then that tells you the cover material, smooth yellow rose bone. And then the front here is all the other info on the knife. Northford unexcelled, yellow rose, 1095. Genuine North American cattle bone, handle scales, and then Great Eastern Cutlery and their address right there. And when you pop this off, this is one of my favorite things about getting a traditional is they come wrapped in this beautiful wax paper. So when you get a GEC, they come wrapped in this wax paper. It's just such a cool, classic feeling when you roll open the wax paper and see your new GEC. It's just so cool, man. It's such a cool feeling. It feels really, I don't know, man. It just feels like, I don't know. It just feels classic and kind of homey and just cool. I just like it. And then usually you'll get a button too. This one has a yellow rose logo on the button here. And that's it. That's what you get with a GEC. I'm not sure if the wax paper like prevents moisture from getting in there, possibly, but it's not like it's sealed or anything. It's just wrapped up loosely. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they chose to do the wax paper, but I really like it for, no matter the reason, I really like it. Now, Jack Wolf kind of adopted the tube thing from GEC and from other traditionals. So same kind of concept. You got a tube here. And he spends money on making really cool graphics for the outside of these tubes. And they are pretty badass. Each one's different. Each knife has a different, graphic on here. You have the info. You have the name of the knife. And then instead of like a pop top kind of thing, it's actually a threaded cap. You got the logo on the top of the cap. Open that up and you get like a pog looking thing with the graphic on it again. And then the name of the knife on the back. Kind of a useless thing, you're never going to do anything with it, but it's there. It's kind of a cool way to top off the stuff in there, you know what I mean? You pull out this microfiber and your knife is wrapped in this microfiber. Kind of the same concept as GEC's wax paper, but it's a microfiber cloth. I like getting microfiber cloths because I can always reuse them. And I use the crap out of these things. I use them to dust my furniture or for knife maintenance, for wiping out knives. When they get dirty, I just throw them away because I have a bunch of other ones. So I'll probably keep this one out because I need a new one. And then if it's a slip joint Jack Wolf, it probably comes with a slip as well. At least the older ones did. It's not the best quality slip ever. You can tell they're mass-produced pretty quickly. But it's not a bad slip either. I've definitely seen worse slips that come slips that come with knives are not usually great. It's not like the handmade kind of quality that you'd see from my slips or Richter's slips or, a bunch of other slip makers out there. But it's a pretty darn good pretty darn good slip, actually. The edges are pretty smooth. They're not like shined up, but they're pretty smooth. The edges up here didn't really seem like they got beveled. But the leather feels pretty good quality. It's not like that hard plasticky feeling leather. So I'd say as far as free slips go, at least slips that come with knives, this is a pretty decent one. So that's that. And then usually there's some stickers in there too. I think I took those out. There's a piece of foam at the bottom. I think I've seen a button in a Jack Wolf tube before. I'm not sure. It sometimes can vary. But this is kind of the standard of what you might get in a Jack Wolf purchase. Now, speaking of Jack Wolf for a minute, a lot of people complain about his price tag for his knives, and they're pretty expensive. When they first started making the slip joints, they were $300. His catalog has grown since then, so the prices have kind of varied. But for a classic, Jack Wolf slip joint, they were $300. They are $300. And I want to explain quickly why they're $300. Number one, he pays to get the knife made, right, in China somewhere. Then he pays the retailers to list his knife on their websites. He has maybe, I don't know how many, 4, 5, 6, 7 different retailers that carry his knives, and he has to pay them. They have to get a percentage of that sale. So there's that. And then there's all this swag, He has to pay someone to make these slips, pay someone to make these pogs, the graphics, to print the graphics, the tubes. It's a lot of shit, man. It's a lot of shit. Now, if you compare that to like the ABW, this slip joint. It's made in the USA, and it's only 160. It might even be less than that. We'll say about half as much as the Jack Wolf, made in the USA. However, there's not all this swag. It's just a tin. That's all you get. And they don't have to pay retailers. Well, yeah, no, they don't have to pay retailers because it's just on their website. It goes for sale on their website. And they're manufacturing the knives themselves. They don't have to pay anyone else to do it. They're doing it themselves. So that's kind of the reason it can be the price that it is, which is awesome. I mean, I think this is the best bang for buck quality, and not only bang for buck, but just quality and period slip joint that you could get is this one right here. But it is kind of a whole experience unboxing a Jack Wolf knife, you know? So it might matter to you to have all the swag. It might not. For me, it doesn't really matter. I would probably prefer there be less swag, like maybe don't give me the slip, don't give me this, maybe don't even have the graphic, maybe don't even have the tube, just the knife in a little box, and have it be less money. I would probably prefer that personally, but you can't deny that this stuff is cool. I mean, it is definitely pretty cool. So there's the Jack Wolf spiel. Let's do some pricey ones. So this is the box that my Prince Customs Protean came in. I thought this was pretty neat. Oh, it's in my pocket, I think. Yeah. There's the Prince Customs Protean. And this is the box it came in. It's sort of a tin with a clear top. Open that up. We get a certificate of authenticity. Signed. All the info there. You get this like thing to keep the knife dry. You get a custom cut out foam there with the kind of the logo, name of the knife lasered into it, and the knife sits right in there. Kind of a cool presentation. I really like that. Definitely unique, and I appreciate a neat presentation. It adds to kind of the excitement. You unbox it. And you don't know how it's going to come. You don't know what the presentation's going to be. And you open up the box and you're like, whoa, holy shit, man, this is awesome. I can't wait to open this up. It's kind of like opening up a treasure box, Oh, and you pull out the knife out of the foam that fits perfectly in there, and you're like, oh man, this is sweet. So yeah, it completely adds to the experience. I think this is a pretty cool way to do it. Now, there's other pricey knives that don't really go that far. Like Hinderer. This is a Hinderer box, just a regular cardboard box. Got the info at the end. Sticker on the top. You open it up. Comes in a plastic bag. You get some peanuts in there, and you get a card that says who it was assembled and tuned by, which not necessary, but it's kind of cool. It kind of gets a more of a like personal feel to it when you know the name of the person that put your knife together. I think that's kind of neat. And this is the stuff for the tri-way pivot system. You get a set of Teflon washers, brass, and then I guess this is for the Teflon. You put those steel ones into. And that's it. You don't get a certificate of authenticity. Nothing. That's just that's all you get. And Hinderers are great knives, It's just they don't choose to put a lot of money into their presentation. And Hinderers are really priced very well. If you look at comparable knives that are made in the USA, the same level, same caliber, $425 for a base Hinderer is really good. And they have not raised that price in a very long time. So you look at like all the accessories, the scales, the aftermarket scales that you might get for your Hinderer are very expensive. The hardware they sell is expensive. Their fancy clips are expensive. I know, and people complain about that sometimes. But keep in mind, they're still only $425 for that knife, which is amazing. Next up, another one that is an awesome knife with a very lackluster packaging. This is the 8020. The American-made Demco 8020 comes in this little tiny box. And that's it, man. It's just literally nothing. Nothing else in there. Just the knife. No paperwork, nothing. Just says Demco, performance first. You got 8020 Slim on there. And it says 8020 on the back, and that's it. That is absolutely it. I don't know, I love my 8020, and I don't really care that it doesn't have a fancier box, but I don't know. Would have been kind of cool, right? How about the Lamia? So the SBK Lamia, another one, very lackluster packaging. Just a box, manufactured in the USA always, like that. I like to see the American flag on the bottom. You open it up, the knife comes in a plastic baggie, and you get a sticker. And this is actually the other hardware that the previous owner had switched out. So if you got a brand new Lamia, it would come like this with just the sticker and the bag. No COA, which is interesting because usually knives at this level, $800 to $1,000, USA made small batch knives usually have certificates of authenticity with them. Not the Lamia. Not the Lamia. You don't get shit with the Lamia. It's just how it is, man. You get, and there is something cool about that, He's kind of saying the knife is going to speak for itself. We don't need to have any fancy packaging. The knife's awesome. As soon as you get it out of that crappy box, it's going to blow you away. So there's something to be said for that as well, I think. How about Holt? The Holt Morpheus that I bought. This is a really nice quality box here. It's got like some kind of texture to it. Nothing on the outside, just Holt blade works on the top. You have a nice magnet latch right here. Open that up. And you have a Solinco card. So this is pretty neat. This is the COA. This is the COA. It's an NFC chip, basically, so you kind of hold it up to your phone, and then all the info pops up on your phone. Kind of cool. I don't know. I guess I'm a little old school in that I would probably rather just have like a printed out thing like this. But it's cool. There's something kind of cool to it. I would show you, but my film is recording right now. But yeah, I think you have to enable like NFC in your settings or something for it to pop up. But yeah, this is the COA. Pretty interesting. And there's some info on the adjustable detent system, and then it comes with this tiny little... Did that break? I think the previous owner might have broken that off. Little Allen key. By the way, it came absolutely perfectly tuned. I have never wanted to adjust that detent because it's already... It could not get better. And then you lift up this little foam deal, and the knife's sitting right in there, this custom cut foam. So not super fancy, but it's got a cool COA and a very high quality box. Kind of classy. How about Chris Reeve? How about the box my Umnumzan came in? It's a square box, which is interesting. The only time I've ever seen a square box that a knife's in. You got the info right there on the side. You got Crucible CPM, high performance materials sticker there. And the Chris Reeve logo on top. Let me clear some of these out. So you open it up, and this is what you get. You get this little folder deal here. Open that up. Here's your COA. Info is checked there. I have an S45VN, drop point, Umnumzan, handle material, and the date. And then some the guarantee warranty on the back there. You get a Chris Reeve sticker, and then this. Okay, you can register your knife if you want to. I guess I've never done that. And then this is pretty neat. It gives you like an exploded view of the knife. I think that's awesome. You get to see all the little parts and how they go together, how the knife goes together. They're numbered even, so you can kind of figure out which part is which. I think that's pretty neat. Some info on sharpening. It's an 18 to 20 degree bevel. how to clean it, how to tighten it, and how to store it. I think that's cool. And then over here you get like kind of a timeline of some awards that they've won for the knife. That's cool. I think this is a pretty cool presentation. It feels cool when you open it up. You're like, man, this is so official. And then the knife is wrapped up in this microfiber, and it's sitting right here in this slot. And then this is the lanyard that I took off, so I don't think this would be in there. And that's it. That's what you get. Pretty cool. I like it. It's very kind of classy. How about the Rosie? Let's check out the Oz Machine Company box. This is a classy, all blacked out box. Very high quality, thick cardboard. No info anywhere, just the top. Again, you got a nice magnet latch here. Open it up, and the COA is kind of up on the lid here. I think that's kind of a cool presentation. It's just strapped on the top right there. And the knife sitting in some custom cut foam, and that's it. So, not a whole lot, but I think pretty classy. I like this blacked out box is real classy. Just simple but good, you know? The foam is like really fuzzy on top too, which I haven't seen before. One more, and my favorite, you guys know what it's going to be. My favorite packaging of any knife, that's Grimmo. They just do it the best, man. And it's an expensive knife, you know. It's a $1,000 knife, but oh man, the packaging is so good. So you get a Nanook, which they make really good cases, but they've partnered with Nanook, so it's an actual partnership, collaboration with the maker of this this case. You can see right here, and they have their logo embossed on the top. You know, it's a sealed, waterproof, pressurized thing. Pop this open. Inside we have custom lasered foam. You get the logo up here, and down here you got the name of the knife in the corner. Perfectly cut out slot for the knife. And then you lift this up, and on the underside you have a disassembly tool, and you get this little thing of nano oil. It's actually maple scented too. This nano oil smells like maple syrup. Pretty cool Canada thing. I think that's great. They give you some really high quality lube that they actually make in-house. They bottle it in-house too. And you get a disassembly tool right in the bottom here. And then below that is the COA that's in a nice plastic case. Signatures from both John and Eric Grimmo. We got the date, all the info right there, with the logo on back. And then this was the sticker. I bought this at Blade Show. This was the sticker that was on top of the box originally. I just stuck it down in here. So very cool. And Nanook is a Canadian-made case as well. So everything is made in Canada here. And this is just badass, man. You know, they custom cut these foam inserts in-house. And it's just an extremely high-quality case, you know? And it's kind of funny because you'll probably never put it back in here, you know? It's not like you can use this case for something else. I guess you could if you took the inserts out. And I guess some people might do that. In fact, that's kind of a good idea. I don't know what I would keep in here really, but yeah, you could take the inserts out and use it for something else. But it's just cool that they went the extra mile and gave you a really cool box. Even my Grimmo pen, I thought maybe, you know, it's a much less expensive item, so they might not use these nice cases for the pens, but they do. It's the exact same box. In fact, I'll grab it real quick. I got one that's a different color. Pop it open. Again, you got the Saga in the corner, logo up there, and the pen sits right in there with a refill underneath that. And I don't think there's anything under here. No. You don't get like a COA or anything with the pen. But yeah, same extremely quality box. So there you go. Kind of a wide variety of different packaging that knives come in. What do you guys think? Do you like to see a really nice presentation? Do you care? Can it be just a regular cardboard box with only a sticker inside? What do you guys think? I kind of mentioned my opinion before. If the knife is good enough, let's talk about the 80/20 for instance. The knife is so good that whatever, it would be cool if it was a nicer box, but I don't need it because I freaking love the 80/20. I love the Lamia too. It's not my favorite knife, but yeah, it's pretty darn good. But man, it is cool to have some really sick packaging. And I like, these kind of interesting new ideas on the packaging, like this tin with the see-through top, ABW using the Altoids Tin. Just kind of cool. I like that Jack Wolf uses the classic tube packaging. That's pretty neat. And there's something to be said for just the classic tube with the wax paper. Just such a cool feel to it. So, there you go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm curious what everyone's opinion is on packaging. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Like the video, please, before you leave. I'll see you next time.